Summonable Ultras have been in the game for over 1 year, which started with the release of Ultra Super Gogeta back during Legends Festival 2021. Since then, we've gotten 7 Ultras and many people are not happy with this. With the current lowest rate of 0.35% for a new unit and Ultra Rising banners being notoriously bad, it's no wonder people are not happy with Ultra units. But what can they do to make things better? Well, in this one, we're going to be going over some possible solutions of what we can see happen down the line. So let's go. So I think before we start talking about Ultra units, it's good to go back and discuss about the history, I guess, of Legends Limited unit from since their beginning to what we have now. So I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't play when the first ever Legends Limited unit came out, which was technically Beerus. He was the first quote-unquote Legends Limited unit, and the reason I say this because Beerus and FSK Gohan were Legends Limited units before they created the term Legends Limited. They created that term with Goten that dropped right after, and then they gave it to these guys before. Beerus and Gohan, believe it or not, were units that were strictly ticket exclusive. So as you can see from this banner here, use summon tickets to get sparking characters, chance to get God of Destruction Beerus in the ticket summon. So the step up banner would be able to give you sparking guaranteed tickets, and through those sparking guaranteed tickets were you able to get this Beerus, which is insane. But the new unit did have a 20% chance, 1 of 5 chance to get him, and obviously the other units were at a 20% chance to. So that point was extremely high, but you had to complete the rotation or whatever on the step up banner to get that ticket. So it's pretty crazy. And then with Goten, they dropped a new step up banner where they made his pull rate 0.25, and then from Super Vegito during the first anniversary he was at 0.25. By the way, that is still currently the lowest rate for a new unit, 0.25 during the first anniversary. And they kind of continued with his banner format up until I believe it was the Legends Festival, the first ever Legends Festival, where they dropped UI Sign Goku, part 1 of course. And this UI Sign Goku was the final LF unit or Legends Limited unit to get the 0.25% pull rate. So it went on for over a year past second anniversary. VB was also 0.25. The LF during MajinBlue was 0.25, and then UI Sign was 0.25. That was back in 2020. Yeah, 2020 Legends Festival. And then part 2 of the 2020 Legends Festival, we had the release of the dual LF Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Gogeta. I don't know why I said the full name. Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, Gogeta Blue, and Full Power Broly. And this is when they first increased the pull rate to 0.5 for a LF unit. So we can take a look at this banner, by the way. We're not going to be talking about this banner because it was terrible. But, oh wait, this is a ticket banner. Let's close this. This was the ticket banner. This was the actual step-up banner. It was such a bad form. 500 and then 1,000, and then you get these sparking guaranteed tickets where his pull rate was not increased. It was just overall, this banner was one of the worst banners we've ever gotten. And of course, they dropped one of the most hyped characters of all time on this banner. But this was the first time that Legends Limited units had a 0.5% pull rate. And since then, we've just gotten 0.5% for every single LF, right? Up until the latest LF, which is Android 17, his banner. Actually, no, it's Revival UI Sign Goku, his banner, 0.5%, and it's been like that ever since. So I think Ultra units are going to follow a similar path where they're at a slightly reduced rate right now, and then once we get a good amount of LF units, so how many do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10. This guy was at 0.25, 11. And yeah, everyone 12. I think that's it. Yeah, 12 units that we've gotten had a 0.25% pull rate for on their initial banner. And then after that, it's been 0.5. So if we take a look at the Ultra units here, we have 7, as I mentioned, 7 Ultra units. So if we were to kind of follow the same timeline, also it's important to note that Legends Limited units back then were not dropping monthly. We were not getting them monthly. We were actually getting them at around the same pace as these Ultra units. Like Super Vegito dropped, and then Namegoku dropped 2 months later, and then after Namegoku was Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that dropped 2 months later, and then actually this was a bit weird. A month later we got like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but after Super Saiyan 3 Goku, we took quite a few months, I guess, of break, and then like around March, I believe, we got a dual LF Frieza and Piccolo. And then another 2 months later, we got VB and then blah blah MV in August, and then from August to Legends Festival, which was November, end of November, we got UI sign. So they were dropping LF units at pretty much the same rate as these Ultra units. So you can already tell that they're kind of following a similar pattern with these Ultra units, right? They're currently at a 0.35% chance, and once we get more and more, it's very likely that they're gonna start increasing the rates. So obviously, the biggest issue with these Ultra releases that many people have is, first of all, the pull rate, right? So for example, let's open up the latest one actually. For example, Ultra Rose. Let's go to his banner. What the hell is this? Oh yeah, his banner has a new little thing, but he has a 0.35% chance. Now that's not the only reason why, right? 0.35% chance is low, yes, but it's not the lowest we've ever seen, right? We've seen LF units at 0.25% chance. Another thing to keep note of that I forgot to mention for these Legends Limited units, but the pity system. There is currently no pity system for Ultra banners, so you can very easily, Goresh is a perfect example of this, go 100,000 Chrono Crystals without pulling the Ultra. And that's pretty devastating, especially if you're a free-to-play player. You save up for so long. Let's say you save up for 6 months, get like 60k crystals, and you just use it all and you don't get a single unit. You know how devastating that is? You know how that is? Dude, the amount of pain you have to go through, that is just ridiculous. And so it's important to note that we got pity system for the Legends Limited units. When did we get this? Actually, I don't remember. Was it through Vegeta? Because I think we had it prior to the Legends Festival 2021. It's hard to... I don't remember, actually. It might be Vegeta or like Full Power Frieza. Let me take a look at his banner. Because it says on the banner, right? Yeah, you get... Yeah, there's summon coins here. Before Full Power Frieza, it was... Revival Gohan. We didn't have pity on Revival Gohan. So Full Power Frieza was the first one. So 3 years... After 3 years, we got the pity system for Legends Limited unit. So that kind of gives you a timeline, I guess, if you want to base it off Legends Limited units, on when we can potentially see it for Ultra Rising banners, which is unfortunate. But I think they are probably going to increase. Actually, there are a couple of solutions that you can do here to make it better. First of all, increasing the rates. Second is the pity system. And third is just incorporate more Ultra units into the banner. Now, I've been seeing a lot of discussion on Twitter about adding Ultra units and it not being a good idea. And a lot of people seem to have a misconception on how this is going to work. People think that if you throw in an additional Ultra, that you're going to be pulling those Ultras more or whatever. Like, that's not how it works. People think that actually, when you throw in more Ultras, this 0.35% chance will be somehow split into 2 or something like that, which that is not going to be the case. If you add multiple Ultras, let's say you add 2 more Ultras as a filler unit on this banner, you have to understand that that's going to be 0.35% for the newest one and 0.7 for the other 2, because 0.35 times 2. So that's 0.7, that's plus 0.35, that's what, 1.05% chance of pulling an Ultra unit straight up instead of 0.35. Now tell me, would you rather have a higher chance of pulling an Ultra, regardless if it's the new one or the old one? Would you rather that, or have a chance at pulling Android 15, Android 14, Android 13, Green Ultimate Gohan Absorb Buu, Red Metal Cooler? Like, tell me, do you guys want to pull more of these, or would you rather have an increased chance of pulling Ultra units? Like, it's just, there's literally no downside to adding more Ultra units to these banners. People think, like, I don't know how they might not understand how percentage works. They might not have a brain or something, but adding more Ultra units to the banner is not gonna, there's no downside to it. The new Ultra will still have its 0.35% chance, so it's still gonna be the same percentage as all the previous banners we've been, but now you have an additional chance of pulling other Ultras. So I think that might be the first thing they might implement before they increase the rate, because obviously, if you take a look at the Ultra units, for example, they added Legends Limited units to these banners before increasing the rate to 0.5. We've had Legends Limited units, multiple Legends Limited units on the same banner before they increased it, right? So I do think that them adding more Ultras to these banners are what's going to be first on their agenda in increasing these, making these Ultra banners better. And then after that is when they're going to increase the pull rate, probably like, you know, to 0.5, and then they'll probably bump up LF units to a bit higher, or even like 0.4, I don't know. Because 0.35 is, I don't know if they really want to increase LF rates, because 0.5 is like, it's not terrible, but it's also not the greatest. Maybe they can bump up LF units to like 0.7, and then this becomes 0.5. That would be really cool. So once they do that, then we're probably going to be getting a pity system a bit further down the line, because that's what the Legends Limited timeline was, right? So first it's adding more Legends Limited units to the banner, then increasing the pull rate, then adding the pity system. I would assume that's the route they're going to go with. And then once that's set in place, then we get to some interesting stuff here. So it's important to note that Legends Limited units are still sparking units at the end of the day, right? M17, Beast Gohan, Ultra Instinct Goku, all these units, look, they're sparking units with a special designation of Legends Limited. Ultra units are also a rarity, similarly to sparkings. Look, Ultra sparking. So Ultra units are most likely, now I'm not going to say this 100% confirmed, but in my mind, it's like going to happen at some point. Ultra units are most likely going to get the Legends Limited designation eventually. You're going to start seeing Ultra units with legendary finishes and all this stuff, and their rate is going to be lower than what we currently have. Or if they eventually bump up the Ultra rates to 0.5, then they can make Ultra LF units or Ultra Legends Limited units back to the original 0.35. Originally, I thought what they did, the reason why they increased the LF rates to 0.5, this is what I thought originally, is to make room for Ultras, regular Ultras to be at 0.35, and then Ultra LF units or Ultra Legends Limited units to be at 0.25%. Now, obviously, if they do that, people are going to be furious. But, you know, we've already encountered a 0.25% pull rate, so I don't think it's out of the question, but I certainly wouldn't want it to happen, right? Why would I want them to drop a rarity even lower than what we have currently? So best case scenario would be for them to increase these regular Ultras to 0.5, and then eventually, if they ever do decide to bring in Legends Limited designations to these Ultra units, then those units will most likely be at 0.35. I do think that, correct me if I'm wrong for all the Dokkan players, but I do think Dokkan has a similar system where Dokkan Fest exclusive is the equivalent to Legends Limited, and then they have their LR, which is equivalent to Ultras, and I think they have Dokkan Festival exclusive LRs. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong, but if anyone that's watching this play Dokkan, you can definitely let me know in the comments. But I think that's how they have it, and we still don't have our equivalent to Dokkan Festival exclusive LRs, right? Which is eventually going to be Ultra Legends Limited unit. But that's probably for another day, especially really further down the line once we got these Ultra units more fleshed out. But I still do think it's a possibility. But that's pretty much all I want to go through. Just a couple suggestions and stuff, because it's been a pretty hot topic recently in the community, especially since I feel like a lot of people summoned for this Rose Goku Black, and it's showing in the amount of people that are getting shafted. I feel like a lot of people are getting shafted, but that's because a lot more people are summoning for this character since he's so hype. So it's been a pretty big topic of discussion, and I just want to voice my opinions on the matter. So definitely let me know in the comments what you guys would do to solve, or I guess fix, or whatever, this Ultra situation. What would you do? Would you rather have Ultra rates increase? Would you rather see multiple Ultras on the banner? Or would you rather a pity system? Or would you rather all of them? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to know what you guys have to say. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe. It's so important, so don't forget. Other than that, have a great day. See ya.